Thing one tonight, if you thought the president was a little robotic last night, that might be because he wasn't in love with the speech either. Apparently wasn't mean enough. New York Times reports as Trump and his team drafted his address in recent days, he groused about the text, complaining it was too gentle on Democrats. The president insisted on sharpening some of the lines in the speech and rebuffed aides who urged him to congratulate Ms. Pelosi on her ascension to the speakership. The president does have a history of trying to change the script, like the time Conan O'Brien's team wanted him for a comedy bit to just pour himself a glass of water.
You didn't think of that, did you? Huh? All right, is that okay with you?
Sure. I mean,
why not?
Why not?
Do you like it or not?
Well, let's keep it as an option.
I thought that was very funny.
I'd say it's more funny, than it is funny, ha. But Trump always knows more than the writers, which is why he tried to rewrite the words of the animatronic Trump at Disney World. And that's thing two in 60 seconds. One thing since November 2016 that can never be undone is that robot Donald Trump will have a permanent place in the Disney World Hall of Presidents. There's an animatronic version of every U.S. president in there, Nixon, Jackson, and of course, 45 himself. The happiest place on earth did face a backlash when it brought in Robot Trump. There were a lot of complaints that it didn't look much like him, even a conspiracy theory that Disney had prepared a Hillary Clinton robot and had to rework it in the last minute. Mostly the animatronic is just a lot creepy. But what it says is harmless enough. The robot's voice is Trump himself. We learned recently, however, the president wanted to inject an extra bit of Trumpiness into the script. Former White House aide Cliff Sims explains in his new book, Trump wanted his robotic likeness to tell Disney-goers that Americans had invented the skyscraper and to remind them of his own career in real estate. Quote, then I could add a little, which of course I know a thing or two about, right? Trump suggested, his robots say. Sims reports Disney brass objected to the request, saying that Americans hadn't actually invented the concept of skyscraper. One protested, it's just a taller building. So his robot remained presidential, at least, and it was happily ever after in the Magic Kingdom.
Constitution of the United States. So help me God.
Lock him up! Lock, he's not real!
A nation defined by its people.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.